Welcome to another Cardano update. Like always, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. So here on the 4-hour chart, there's not much going on today. We're still trying to complete the fifth wave of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. Support for this is between 48.9 cents and 46.1 cents. I think there's still a chance that maybe we get to the other support zone right here, just because for the time being on the Bitcoin chart, you could say that we could get another low just because we did not really touch my support zone right here when we went down yesterday. We did get to about $92,900, but my support zone was a bit lower, so if we break below the moving average right there on the 4-hour RSI, it's probably gonna mean that the price is gonna go lower, and then after that we could find a low. But you know, if we manage to stay above the moving average, then maybe the price is actually going to start a much bigger third wave of this 1-2 setup. It's the exact same setup on the ADA chart as well, so here we could bounce off the moving average and then, you know, start a much bigger move. But you have to understand, even if we start a much bigger move and even if the next target is going to be at like $1.04, we're not going to get to these levels extremely fast because the third wave to the upside is going to have to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 setup. But let's talk about the weekly chart for a second, because here we did something extremely important yesterday on the RSI. We closed near the trend line, which I believe is a very good indicator because the last time we did this was back in this area, and then after that the price had a move to the bull market support band, and before this it was, you know, right here in this area. We tested the trend line, and then after that we tested the bull market support band as well, and that's what we did back here after the bear market low. We got to the trend line and then we tested the bull market support band. So I think a test of the bull market support band is gonna happen in the next couple of weeks, because I'm also expecting the same thing to happen on the Bitcoin chart. Even if we are in a bear market right now, which by the way I'm not saying that we are because there's no confirmation yet, but even if we are, the bull market support band is gonna have to be tested, because the move to the downside that we're gonna get in the bear market is gonna have to be an ABC structure, meaning that this move to the downside could have been the A wave, and at some point we're gonna get the B wave, which is most likely gonna put us at the bull market support band and even at the trend line right there on the RSI. And during that time we could test the trend line, and getting above it could mean that maybe the bull market is not over, because that's pretty much exactly what we did last year as well, or I'm sorry, in March over here. We got below it, we closed below it, but then the following couple of weeks were green, and that's what put us above the bull market support band. And we did the exact same thing back in 2017 here after we dropped below the trend line. As you can see, after a while we still went up to it, and during that time that's when the bull market support band was tested, and this was a move from $6,000 all the way up to like $12,000, and this was also the B wave that I was talking about earlier. So this was an A wave, this was a B wave to the upside, and then the C wave was the rest of the bull market, or I'm sorry, the bear market. So until we close 2 weeks below the trend line right there, I'm not going to be able to confirm that the bear market has started. And other than that, I want to look at the Ethereum chart for a second, because here I believe on the daily chart we got to the oversold territory a couple of days ago, and that could be a very good sign, because the last time this happened was back in this area back in April, and then after that we did absolutely nothing for a couple of days, but then we got a move above the bull market support band, and the rest is pretty much history. So again, the last time we were oversold was at $1,400, and right now we're at like $3,000. I want to remind you that the fear and greed index is extremely low right now. It's at extreme fear, meaning that maybe you should be greedy, because usually when the market is in extreme fear, it does not stay there for too long. For example, back in April, I believe, when we were in extreme fear, that's when Bitcoin found a low in that area, so definitely be careful. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts and if you want access to our daily Discord updates. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.